Jeffrey Epstein died in his jail cell on August 10, 2019. It felt like an ending. The man who could name names was gone. But it wasn't an ending. It was a detonation. Welcome back. In Part 1, we saw how Jeffrey Epstein built his web. In Part 2, we follow the threads that unraveled after his death. The hunt for accomplices, the battle for secrets, and the single question that haunts every corner of this story. What are they still hiding? Chapter 1. The Fallout and the Fall Guy. With Epstein gone, the hunt turned to his closest associate, Ghislaine Maxwell. The British socialite, daughter of a media tycoon, was long alleged to be his chief recruiter and manager. For years, she denied everything. But in December 2021, a jury found her guilty. Guilty on 5 counts, including sex trafficking a minor. It was a victory for justice, but it felt incomplete. She was the deputy, not the general. And at her trial, a chilling detail emerged. Epstein's homes were heavily wired with hidden cameras. So what happened? Chapter 2. The List, the Logs, and the Leaks. The public's obsession shifted. It shifted from the criminal to the client. Who was on the plane? Who was on the island? The infamous black books and flight logs leaked, revealing a who's who of power: politicians, scientists, royalty, billionaires. But listen, names on a flight log aren't proof of a crime. The real prize was the evidence locked in government vaults. The investigations from 2005 and 2019, the interviews, the photos from his safe. For years, judges ordered them unsealed, page by painful, heavily reducted page. Each release was a tremor, hinting at a deeper earthquake. Chapter 3. The Battle for the Files. The pressure built. It built into a political crusade. Release the Epstein client list became a rallying cry. In 2025, under a new administration, the Department of Justice finally addressed it. They released CCTV footage from the night Epstein died. They said it showed he was alone, that it was suicide. But almost immediately, internet sleuths found problems. Big problems. Nearly 3 minutes were missing. The clock jumped. Independent analysts found evidence. The video had been modified. The DOJ said there was no client list, just a vast trove of evidence from a criminal investigation. To many, it felt like the ultimate bait and switch. The promise of transparency met with what looked like more obfuscation. Chapter 4. The Theories and the Unknowns. Theory 1. The intelligence asset. Was Epstein, with his fake passport, global travels, and mysterious income, working for a spy agency? Was that why Acosta was told to leave it alone? Was the entire operation about blackmail and compromise on the Western elite? Theory 2. The network protected itself. This is simpler. Epstein's web of powerful friends was so vast that someone, somewhere, had the means and motive to ensure he never spoke. His death wasn't an intelligence op, it was a prison system, corrupted by influence or money, doing a favor. Theory 3. The everything theory. This ties it all together. Epstein was an asset. His blackmail files were an intelligence goldmine. And when he was finally caught, those who benefited from the secrets or feared exposure orchestrated his silencing. The missing footage, the sleeping guards, it was all part of the cleanup. Chapter 5. The Victims and the Legacy. Amidst all this noise, we cannot forget the heart of this story. The victims. Over 100 women received settlements from the Epstein estate. They fought for, and won, a measure of justice, even as the full truth remains elusive. Their courage is what broke the case open. Their testimony put Maxwell away, and they continue to fight. They fight for the full disclosure of the files, not for spectacle, but for validation and closure. So where does this leave us? We are left with a mountain of evidence. Evidence pointing to a horrific, systemic abuse of power, and an official narrative about his death that millions of people simply do not believe. The greatest legacy of the Epstein case may not be a definitive answer. It may be a permanent fracture in public trust. It taught us how influence can bend the law, how secrets can be kept in plain sight, and how the powerful can operate in a realm that seems beyond justice. It poses a question we now ask about every scandal. Is this the truth, or is this just the story we're allowed to know? The search for answers isn't over. Lawsuits continue. Journalists keep digging. And as long as those files aren't fully and credibly released, the questions will remain. What theory makes the most sense to you? And what one piece of evidence do you think would change everything? Let's have a respectful discussion in the comments. If you haven't seen it, watch part 1 to understand how this all began, and